I'm Angela, half of Murray and Vern, design duo established in Manchester in the early 80s. We did fetish, fashion, clubwear. And, we had a workshop on Whitworth Street and we were triangulated between the Hacienda and the Canal Street Gay Village, and then later on Manto, when that opened directly opposite us, also around the corner, Paradise Factory, right in the middle of a really exciting hub. And also there was a photographer above us in our workshops in the loft there who used to photograph James, the Manchester band, and then below there was a little record label. Yeah, so it was quite an exciting hub of all sorts going on, really, that little area of Manchester. Manchester in the mid-80s and through the 90s, it was I feel it was quite an exciting place to be, and it felt like it was coming out of some bleaker years, really, especially having gone through the Anderton years, coming through the Thatcher years, coming through Clause 28, and it felt like what was happening then in Manchester was a kickback against all that, because everything had been sort of squashed and repressed, really, through the powers that be. And yeah, with the opening of Manto, that feels almost like not a catalyst, a figurehead for what was happening, really, because it was like the Manto was big open glass windows. You could see in, you could see out, people went there to be seen, to be heard. Yeah, it felt like the end of the era of the kickback against all of that repression from the authorities around queer culture. Yeah, I don't think Manchester's ever looked back. Queer culture continues to thrive and be a massive hub of creativity, so it's something really to be celebrated. In the early 90s, maybe 1992, we did a fashion show at the Hacienda at the then monthly Flesh night, which was a queer night. Brilliant, a really good night. In that show, we just used all our models were our friends, all the people we used to go clubbing with and hang around with, really. So we had a big contingent from Kinky Galinky and some of the other London clubs come up for that, and then obviously the Manchester contingent as well. So we had Divine David Hoyle, we had Lee Baxter, DJ Paulette, who did the show and then went on to DJ afterwards. She went up and DJ'd afterwards, which was a superwoman. Elton, Darren, and then Wilfreda Beehive and Gina Love, who were fantastic drag queens that created that. They did some amazing creations, and I think they were in our shows, but probably not even modelling our clothes. They just joined in, and that was lovely. And then from London we had Wyn, who is compere Kinky Galinky, Roy, model and dancer at Kinky Galinky, fantastic. And Maud Valance, DJ Barbie, both again from Kinky Galinky, Matthew Glamour, Pam Hogg, Andy and Carolyn Blake. Yeah, just fantastic. Oh, and Mike Manuit, who wasn't Mike Manumission then, but was in the show as well, and he loved Manchester so much that he came and lived here for a bit and set up Manumission. That was his first Manumission in Manchester. Stuart and I used to go to the Hacienda when it first opened in 82, and then a few subsequent years after that as well. And we went later when it became the club that it's known for, the raves scene. But in the early days it was very different. And Stuart and I used to go to Hacienda dressed up in complete latex, head to toe, and heels, latex skirts, both of us, and heels, both of us, and a massive hair, sort of latex goth, really. And there may be a photo of that. And Tony Wilson got ear of us and had this idea that it would be good to put Stuart and myself up on the stage on a plinth, DJing, being some sort of freak latex spectacle, I guess. And we were asked to submit a playlist. We did do a bit of DJing at the time. We even opened for the Stone Roses. I mean, you've got to realise this is really back in the day. And yeah, so we submitted a playlist and subsequently heard nothing, so I can only guess musical tastes didn't align with theirs. That was the end of that.